The space station was quiet, almost too quiet. The man sat inside the control room listening to the low hum of the machines. His name was Daniel, and he was used to the silence of space. Out here at the edge of the galaxy there was no crowd, no city noise, no laughter, no voices. Only the sound of metal walls breathing with the life of engines. Daniel was a repair engineer, not a soldier, not a hero. His job was simple. Keep the station working, check the systems, and report back to command once a day.
He had lived in the silence for months now.
He thought he had seen it all. Broken pipes, leaking reactors, failing oxygen filters. But that night something happened that he could never have imagined. A sharp alarm rang through the room. Red lights flashed across the walls. Daniel jumped from his chair, confused. The warning was not one he recognized. It was not for fire. It was not for oxygen loss. It was something else. He looked at the screen. The words were clear. Unknown presence detected. Daniel frowned. Unknown presence? His voice echoed inside the empty room. The system did not lie. Something or someone was outside the station. His heart began to race. Slowly, he walked to the observation window. Beyond the thick glass, he saw nothing at first, only the stars and the endless black of space. But then his eyes caught something moving. A figure. Floating close to the docking bay. It was not human. The figure was shaped like a woman, but her skin glowed faintly in the dark. A deep violet color that shimmered as if lit from within. She struggled in the void. Her body twisting, her arms hitting against a strange metallic suit that wrapped tightly around her. Her movements were weak, desperate. Daniel froze. He had read reports about alien life, but this was the first time he had ever seen one. And she was not attacking. She was begging. Through the comm system, a broken voice reached his ears. It was shaky, filled with fear. It stuck. "Take it off, please." Daniel's stomach tightened. The words were clear English, but the voice carried an alien tone, soft yet strained. He stood in shock for a long second. His mind screamed at him it could be a trick. Do not open the bay. Do not trust her. But his eyes saw something else, her panic, her fear, her gasping movements. She was not pretending. She was dying. Against his better judgment, Daniel ran to the bay controls. With shaking fingers, he unlocked the outer door. Warning lights filled the hall, but he did not care. The docking bay hissed open, pulling the alien figure inside before sealing shut again. She collapsed onto the cold floor. The strange metallic suit clung to her body, squeezing her chest and arms as if alive. She clawed at it, but her strength was failing. Daniel stepped forward, unsure, his eyes never leaving her. He could see her face now. Sharp, beautiful, and terrified. Her lips trembled as she whispered again. "Please, it's stuck." "I cannot breathe." Daniel crouched beside her. His hands hovered above the alien suit, afraid to touch. He did not know what this material was. He did not know if it was safe. But he saw her eyes wide and desperate, and he could not look away. He pulled out a small cutting tool from his belt. "Hold still," he said softly. The alien woman nodded weakly. Her breath came in short gasps. Daniel pressed the tool against the strange black surface. Sparks flew as the blade cut into it. The suit did not act like metal. It shifted, almost alive, reacting to the tool and to his hands. In some places it hardened, resisting. In others it softened, melting away as if afraid. Her eyes widened as she felt the change. "It listens. To you?" she whispered. Daniel froze. "What do you mean?" Her voice shook. "Your hands. They can open it. No other can." He did not understand. He wanted to ask more, but there was no time. The suit tightened again, wrapping around her chest. She screamed in pain, her voice echoing in the metal bay. Daniel gritted his teeth and forced the blade deeper. The material hissed and cracked. Slowly, a part of the suit peeled open, freeing her arm. She gasped, breathing a little easier, but it was not enough. The rest of the suit still squeezed her. Daniel worked faster now, sweat dripping down his face. Each cut sent shivers through the alien material, like it was alive and angry. But he kept going. He could feel her eyes on him, full of fear, full of hope. Minutes passed like hours. Finally, he managed to loosen the chest piece. The alien woman coughed hard, sucking in deep breaths. Color returned to her glowing skin. She looked at him with something new in her eyes. Not just fear, but shock. Almost disbelief. "You saved me," she whispered. Daniel leaned back, breathing hard. His tool still glowed hot in his hand. He looked at the broken pieces of the alien suit on the floor. His mind was filled with questions, but none came out. The alien woman sat up slowly, weak but alive. She stared at him, her lips trembling as if she wanted to say something important. But before she could, the alarms rang again. This time louder. The screen on the wall lit up with a new message. Multiple presences detected. Daniel's heart stopped. He turned his head toward the door. Heavy footsteps echoed in the hall. Someone or something was coming. The alien woman grabbed his arm with surprising strength. Her voice was a whisper, filled with fear. "They know you touched it. They are coming for you." The room fell silent, except for the sound of footsteps drawing closer, and Daniel realized this was only the beginning. The footsteps grew louder, echoing through the narrow metal corridor outside the docking bay. Daniel's pulse quickened. Whoever or whatever was coming, they were not human. He had lived alone for months. No crew was supposed to be here. The alien woman still clutched his arm, her violet skin glowing faintly in the dim light. Her breathing was rough, but she had regained some strength after he loosened the suit. Her voice was low, urgent. "You must hide. They will not forgive this." Daniel stared at her. Who's coming?" Her eyes darted to the door, then back to him. "My kind, soldiers, hunters. They know I failed the test. They know you broke the seal." Daniel's stomach tightened. "A test?" His mind raced, but there was no time to ask. The bay doors hissed, the locks turning with a heavy metallic sound. The alien woman pulled herself up, but her legs were weak. She stumbled, nearly falling. Daniel caught her and steadied her against the wall. She winced, her hand gripping his arm with surprising strength. Her skin was warm, trembling with energy. "You should not have helped me," she whispered. "Now you are marked." The door burst open. 3 figures stepped inside. They were taller than Daniel, their armor sharp and metallic, glowing with faint lines of energy. Their faces were hidden behind masks that looked alive, shifting with strange light. They moved with precision, like predators. One of them pointed at the alien woman. Its voice was deep and cold. "You failed." She lowered her head, her voice breaking. "I could not escape. The suit locked me." The soldier's glowing mask turned toward Daniel. Its tone grew harsher. "And the human touched it. He broke the seal." Daniel froze where he stood. Every instinct told him to run, but his feet felt like stone. He glanced at the broken pieces of the alien suit on the floor. Something about it still glowed faintly, pulsing in rhythm with his own heartbeat. The soldier stepped closer. Its voice carried weight like a command. "Human, you will come with us." Daniel finally found his voice. "Why me? What did I do?" The alien woman's eyes widened. She tried to speak, but the soldier cut her off. "You interfered. You awakened the bond. Now you belong to the test." Daniel's chest tightened. He did not understand, but the danger was clear. He shook his head, his fists tightening. "I'm not going anywhere with you." The soldier raised an arm. Energy crackled from its weapon, glowing blue in the dark bay. Daniel's breath caught in his throat. He had no gun, no defense. If they fired, he was finished. But before the soldier could strike, the alien woman stepped forward, blocking its path. Her voice cracked but carried strength. "No, he saved me. Without him, I would be dead. The test is broken." The soldiers froze for a moment. The air grew heavy, like the room itself was holding its breath. The leader tilted its mask as if considering her words. Then slowly it lowered its weapon. "Very well. If the human saved you, then the trial changes. The test is now his." Daniel's heart raced. "His." The leader raised a hand. The broken suit pieces on the floor twitched, then rose into the air. They glowed brighter, twisting like living metal. In seconds, they formed a new shape, sharper, darker, wrapping together into a hollow shell. It floated toward Daniel. The alien woman gasped. "No, not him. He is not ready." The soldier ignored her. The glowing shell hovered before Daniel, spinning slowly, almost waiting. Daniel took a step back, his throat dry. What is this?" The leader's voice boomed. "The trial of the bound. If you wish to live, human, you must wear it." Daniel's mind screamed no. Every nerve in his body told him this was death, but his eyes flicked to the alien woman, who shook her head in fear. She whispered quickly so only he could hear. "Do not put it on. It will kill you. It was made for us, not for you." But the soldiers were watching. The leader tilted its head again, the mask glowing. "Choose now. Wear it. Or die." Daniel's breath shook. He had never been a soldier. He had never faced death like this. But deep inside, a fire stirred. These beings thought humans were weak, unworthy. Yet here he was, standing in front of them. He had already broken their suit, already saved one of their own. And now they wanted to see if he would bow. Or fight. Daniel clenched his fists. He looked at the alien woman, then back at the soldiers. His voice came out steady. "If this is your test, then I'll pass it. Give me the suit." The alien woman's eyes widened with horror. "No, you do not understand." But the soldiers moved quickly. The shell shot forward, wrapping around Daniel's chest, his arms, his legs. It was cold, sharp, alive. He gasped as it locked in place, pressing against his skin like ice and fire together. His vision blurred. His heart pounded. The suit pulsed, feeding on his breath, his blood. He felt it digging into him, searching. Then something strange happened. The suit softened. Where it had crushed the alien woman, it bent to him. The sharp edges melted smooth. The pressure turned lighter, almost fitting him. The soldiers' glowing masks tilted in surprise. The leader's voice dropped low. "Impossible." Daniel stumbled, catching himself against the wall. His breath came heavy, but he was still alive. The suit clung to him like a second skin, glowing faintly in rhythm with his heart. The alien woman stared at him with shock and fear. "It accepted you," she whispered. "But no human was ever meant to survive this." The soldiers stepped back, their weapons lowering. For the first time, their stance shifted. Not dominance, but uncertainty. Daniel raised his head. His voice was quiet, but it carried. "Looks like your test just changed." The room fell silent. The soldiers stood frozen. The alien woman's eyes shone with both hope and dread, and Daniel realized that whatever this trial was, he had just become part of something far bigger than himself. The bay was silent except for Daniel's uneven breathing. The suit clung to his body like a second skin, glowing faintly with each beat of his heart. He could feel it moving, adjusting as if it had a mind of its own. The alien soldiers stood still, their glowing masks shifting with strange colors. They were not angry anymore, they were unsettled. The leader finally spoke, its voice low and sharp. "No human was ever meant to live through this. The trial rejects all. Yet you—" It stopped as if unable to believe its own words. "You bonded." Daniel's throat felt dry. His voice came rough. "I don't care about your trial. Take this thing off me." But the suit pulsed tighter, almost as if it heard him and refused to obey. The violet glow spread across his chest and arms. His muscles felt stronger, his senses sharper. He could hear the hum of the engines above, the faint crackle of energy inside the soldiers' weapons. The alien woman, still weak but standing, stepped forward. Her eyes were locked on Daniel, wide with both fear and awe. "It is not supposed to choose you," she whispered. "This was made for us, to test our worth, not for humans." Daniel looked at her, confused and angry. "Then why did it work on me?" Her lips trembled. She hesitated, as if afraid to speak. Finally, she whispered the truth. "Because your kind was never meant to know, but we feared it. Feared what would happen if humans touched it." Daniel's stomach twisted. "Feared what?" Before she could answer, the leader soldier cut in. "This human is dangerous. If the suit accepts him, then he carries the bond. He cannot be allowed to live free." The soldiers lifted their weapons. Energy crackled, filling the bay with blue light. The alien woman stepped in front of Daniel, her arms spread wide. Her voice broke with urgency. "No, you cannot kill him. Do you not see? He is the first. The first in history. The prophecy warned this would happen." Daniel blinked. "Prophecy?" The soldiers froze, their weapons humming but not firing. The leader tilted its glowing mask toward her. "You dare speak of that here?" Her voice shook, but she stood her ground. "Yes, you know the words. When the unchosen wear the second skin, the chains of old will break." Daniel's head spun. None of this made sense. A prophecy, chains? Why did he feel like he had walked into a story far older than this station? The soldiers whispered in their strange tongue, their voices like grinding metal. Finally, the leader lowered its weapon. "Very well. We take him to the council. Let them decide." Daniel's chest tightened. "No one is taking me anywhere." The leader's mask turned toward him. "You are no longer free to choose." The suit pulsed again, almost like it was warning him. Daniel felt its strength rush through his arms. His fist clenched. He could fight. He knew it. But before he could move, the alien woman touched his arm gently. Her skin was warm, her voice soft. "Do not fight them, not yet. If you die now, the truth dies with you." Her words froze him. He searched her eyes, and what he saw there was not fear but certainty. She knew more than she was saying. The soldiers surrounded them. Their steps were heavy, their weapons still humming with power. Daniel and the woman were led down the long, cold corridors of the station, deeper into areas Daniel had never seen. The walls changed. No longer just human metal and pipes, now there were markings, strange symbols etched into the steel, glowing faintly like the lines on the soldier's armor. Daniel realized these were not his people's walls. Parts of this station had always belonged to them. The alien woman leaned close as they walked, whispering so the soldiers would not hear. They built this place long before humans ever came. You were only allowed here because they wished it. Daniel's voice was tight. Allowed? We thought we discovered it. She shook her head. No, you were led here. Like mice to a cage, Daniel's blood ran cold. He wanted to ask more, but the soldiers pushed them forward until they entered a vast chamber. The room was enormous, circular, with a ceiling lost in shadows. At the center stood a raised platform surrounded by tall pillars. Strange energy flowed between them, humming like a living heartbeat. And on the platform sat figures, 5 of them, each in armor more ornate than the soldiers. Their masks glowed with shifting colors like fire trapped in glass. This was the council. The soldiers forced Daniel and the alien woman to their knees. The leader bowed its head and spoke. The trial was broken. The woman failed, but the human survived the binding. The council chamber fell silent. The 5 masked figures leaned forward as one. The one in the center spoke, its voice deeper than the others, echoing with power. Remove his mask. Let us see the unchosen. Daniel's jaw tightened. He was not wearing a mask, but he understood the meaning. They wanted to see him clearly. The soldiers yanked his head up, forcing him to look at the council. Their glowing masks flared brighter. The central figure's voice rumbled. Impossible. The prophecy was true. Daniel's voice shook with anger. Enough with riddles. Why me? Why this suit? What do you want from humans? For a long moment, none of them spoke. Then the central figure gave the answer. Because your kind carries what we do not. The bond was made by our ancestors, but it was never for us. It was a weapon, a key, meant only for those with fire in their spirit. For those who would resist chains until death. Daniel's chest tightened. He realized what they were saying. It was made for humans. The alien woman looked at him, her eyes wide. Not made for you. Hidden from you. For thousands of years we kept it secret. Because if humans discovered it, nothing would stop you. The council chamber darkened. The energy between the pillars flickered as if even the station itself feared the words. Daniel's breath slowed. His voice came out low. Then you were never testing her. You were testing us. The council did not deny it. Daniel felt the suit pulse around him, stronger than before. For the first time, he did not resist. He let it breathe with him, let it wrap his body with strange energy. His fear was still there, but beneath it was something else, anger and something even deeper. Strength. The central figure leaned forward, its mask glowing brighter. Human, the trial begins now. The chamber was silent after the council's words. Daniel's heart beat heavy inside the strange suit, each pulse glowing across his chest like a fire refusing to die. The alien soldiers stood around him, stiff and tense, as if waiting for a signal to strike. The alien woman was still on her knees beside him, her violet eyes fixed on the council. Her voice trembled but carried strength. You knew this day would come. You feared it for generations. And still you tried to hide the truth. One of the masked counselors hissed, its voice sharp as broken glass. Silence. You failed your own trial. Do not speak of matters beyond you. But she did not lower her head. She leaned closer to Daniel and whispered, They will try to break you. Do not let them see fear. Daniel clenched his fists. Fear? He had plenty. But he would not show it, not to them. The central figure rose from the platform. Its armor shimmered with golden lines brighter than the others. Its voice was deep, echoing through the chamber. Human, you stand where no one of your kind has stood before. You carry the second skin, and it obeys you. But strength is not in flesh. It is in will, and your will must be tested. Daniel forced himself to stand tall, though the soldiers pressed their weapons closer. His voice was steady. Test me all you want, but don't think I'll bow to you. The counselor's mask tilted. We do not ask for bowing. We ask for survival. The chamber floor shifted. The pillars around them flared with blue light. The ground beneath Daniel trembled, opening into a circular pit. The soldiers pushed him forward and he fell into the darkness below. He landed hard on his knees. The suit absorbed the shock. glowing brighter, keeping him from breaking. Daniel looked up, but the chamber above was gone. He was in another place now, a vast arena of stone and metal lit by fire and cold light. The alien woman's voice echoed faintly from above. "Do not give in, Daniel. Remember who you are." He barely had time to breathe before the trial began. From the shadows at the edge of the arena, shapes moved. Large shapes. Daniel's eyes narrowed as three beasts stepped forward. They were nothing like the soldiers. Creatures of muscle and bone, their skin armored with jagged scales. Their mouths split wide with rows of sharp teeth, dripping with saliva that hissed as it hit the ground. Daniel's breath caught. "They threw me into a pit with monsters." The beast circled him, growling low. The suit pulsed around his arms, feeding strength into his muscles. He could feel it urging him forward, telling him to fight. One of the creatures lunged. Daniel rolled aside, the beast slamming into the ground with enough force to shake the arena. He scrambled to his feet, heart racing. The second beast came from the left, swinging a massive claw. Daniel raised his arm, bracing for impact. The claw struck, but the suit hardened instantly, blocking the blow. Energy crackled across his arm, and the beast howled in pain as if shocked. Daniel's eyes widened. The suit fights back. "With me." The third beast charged straight at him, its jaws wide. Daniel clenched his fist, and without thinking, he punched forward. The suit glowed bright. His fist landed with explosive force, throwing the beast back several meters. It crashed into the wall, stunned. Daniel stood there, breathing hard, his fists trembling. He had never fought like this before. He was just an engineer, a fixer of broken machines. But the suit had turned him into something else, something stronger, faster, more dangerous. The beasts regrouped, snarling louder, their eyes burning with rage. Above, the counselors watched silently. Their masks glowed faintly, unreadable. Daniel steadied himself. "You want to test me? Fine. Let's see how strong humans really are." The beast came again. Daniel dodged one, slammed his knee into another's chest, and rolled beneath the claws of the third. The suit pulsed with each move, guiding him, amplifying his instincts. He fought not with training, but with raw will, refusing to give up. The creatures struck again and again, but Daniel stood his ground. He was bruised, aching, and his breath came in ragged bursts. Yet his eyes burned with determination. He refused to fall. Finally, he saw his chance. One beast lunged high, leaving its belly open. Daniel drove his glowing fist upward with all his strength. The suit flared white-hot. His strike pierced through the beast's armor. It roared in agony, collapsing to the floor. The other two hesitated, growling, but they no longer charged. They circled him warily, sensing something different. The human was not prey. He was a threat. Daniel raised his fists, his voice echoing in the arena. "Come on, I'm still here." But the creatures backed away, retreating into the shadows they came from. The arena fell silent again. Daniel dropped to one knee, gasping for air, sweat dripping down his face. The suit still glowed faintly, but he could feel it calming, as if satisfied. A voice boomed above him. "The central counselor, enough. He has proven his will. The beasts know it. They will not fight what they cannot break." Daniel looked up, his chest rising and falling. His voice was hoarse but steady. "Is that all you've got? Or do you want more proof?" The counselor's mask flared brighter. "You are reckless. But your fire is real. This is what your kind carries, something we cannot copy. Adaptation. Resistance. Will." The alien woman's voice cut in, soft but clear. "You see now, this is why we feared humans. Not your weapons, not your ships, but this." She placed her hand over her heart. "This strength inside you." Daniel slowly rose to his feet, fists still clenched. He looked up at the council, his voice firm. "You hid the truth because you're afraid of us. You thought if we never knew, we would stay weak. But now I know. And I won't stop." The chamber fell into silence. The counselor said nothing. Even the soldiers above were still. The central figure finally spoke, its voice quiet but heavy with weight. "Then the chains of old are breaking, and the galaxy will never be the same." The floor beneath Daniel shifted again, lifting him back toward the council chamber. As he rose, the alien woman met his eyes. She looked at him not with fear anymore, but with respect. "You changed everything," she whispered. Daniel stood tall as the platform stopped. The suit still glowed faintly, alive with his heartbeat. He knew now that he was no longer just an engineer on a lonely station. He was something more, and he also knew this was only the beginning. The chamber was heavy with silence. The glow from the pillars pulsed faintly, casting long shadows across the floor. Daniel stood in the center, the alien suit still wrapped around his body, its light beating in rhythm with his heart. Every counselor's mask glowed, but none spoke. The alien woman stood beside him now, no longer weak, though her eyes still held both fear and wonder. She whispered softly, almost to herself, "The chains are breaking." Finally, the central counselor's deep voice filled the hall.
Human, you have shown strength.
You faced the beast and did not fall. The bond accepts you. You are not prey. But strength must serve purpose. The galaxy has no place for fire without direction. Daniel's fist tightened at his sides. His voice was steady, but his anger pressed through. Purpose? You've kept us in the dark. You used us. You hid the truth because you're afraid of what we can do. And now you want to tell me how to use my strength? The counselor's mask flared. Yes, you will serve. That is the choice before you. Bend to our will and you live. Refuse and you die. Daniel's breath came slow, heavy. He glanced at the alien woman. Her eyes searched his face, silently pleading. Not for herself, but for him to choose carefully. Why should I trust you? Daniel asked, his voice sharp. You speak of prophecy, of trials, of bonds, but all I see is fear. You're afraid of humans. Afraid of me. Another counselor spoke, its voice higher, almost mocking. Afraid we do not fear you. We fear what your kind will unleash. You burn too fast. You rise too quickly. And everything you touch, you change. That is why we hid the bond. To protect the galaxy from you. Daniel's eyes narrowed. Or to keep control. The alien woman stepped forward, her voice trembling but firm. He has a choice, not you. Not me, him. The soldiers shifted uneasily, their weapons humming faintly. The counselors stared down at her in silence. Daniel felt the suit pulse around him, alive, as if responding to his anger. His mind raced. If he agreed to serve, maybe he would live, but at what cost? He would become a weapon in their hands, used against his own people. If he refused, he might die here, torn apart by soldiers and beasts. But deep inside, he knew something else. Humans had always survived by refusing chains. That was what the alien woman had meant. Not strength of body, but strength of will. The refusal to bow. Daniel raised his head. His voice cut through the chamber. No, I won't serve you. I won't serve anyone. If you're afraid of what humans can do, then you should be. Because I'm just one man, and I survived your trial. The chamber shook with silence. Then the central counselor's mask flared like fire. Then you choose death. The soldiers moved instantly, raising their weapons. Energy crackled, filling the air with a sharp electric smell. The alien woman cried out, "Stop, he carries the bond. If you kill him, you break the prophecy." But the council ignored her. The first soldier fired. A burst of blue energy shot across the chamber. Daniel threw up his arm without thinking. The suit flared white-hot and the blast struck him. But instead of tearing him apart, the energy absorbed into the suit, vanishing in a crackle of light. The soldiers froze. Daniel lowered his arm slowly, his eyes wide. He was unharmed. The suit pulsed brighter, stronger, as if it had just fed on the attack. The alien woman's voice was filled with awe. It grows with you. The counselors leaned forward, their glowing masks shifting rapidly, unreadable. For the first time, Daniel saw something clear in them. Not just fear. Panic. The central figure's voice thundered. Contain him. Do not let him leave this chamber. The soldiers advanced, weapons blazing. The air filled with streaks of light as blasts of energy shot toward him. Daniel braced himself, the suit glowing brighter with each strike. The blasts struck, but the suit drank them in, pulsing stronger, wrapping him in waves of energy. Daniel's fear turned to something else, fury, and a strange, dangerous clarity. He raised his fist and light surged through his arm. When he swung, the air itself cracked and a shockwave threw 2 soldiers across the chamber. The alien woman shielded her eyes from the flash. When she looked again, Daniel stood in the center, glowing with power, the suit alive around him. The council chamber shook, the pillars flickering wildly. The central figure's voice was strained now, almost desperate. This cannot be. The bond was never meant to grow with him. Daniel's voice cut through the chaos, low and steady. Then maybe it was never yours to control. The soldiers hesitated, uncertain now, their weapons trembling. The alien woman stepped to Daniel's side, her voice calm but strong. They cannot stop you. But you must choose, escape or destroy them here. Daniel's breath came hard. His fists trembled with power. The suit pulsed with his heartbeat, waiting for his command. He could feel its hunger, its endless strength ready to be unleashed. The counselors leaned forward, their masks blazing. If you leave, human, we will hunt you. If you fight, you bring war to all. Daniel stared at them, his mind racing. His choice would change everything. Not just for him, but for every human in the galaxy. The alien woman's hand touched his arm lightly. Her voice was barely a whisper. Decide. The chamber fell silent, the air heavy with the weight of his choice. Daniel's jaw tightened. His eyes burned with fire, and then he moved.